Conversation. Where did you learn to skate? Listen and practice.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine, but I'm not very good at this.
Neither am I. Hey, I like your shirt. Are you from Argentina?
Yes, I am originally. I was born there.
Did you grow up there?
Yes, I did, but my family moved here 10 years ago, when I was in middle school.
And where did you learn to skate?
Here in the park. This is only my third time.
Well, it's my first time. Can you give me some lessons?
Sure, just follow me.
By the way, my name is Ted.
And I'm Anna. Nice to meet you.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What are 2 more things you learn about Ted?
Hey, that was fun. Thanks for the lesson.
No problem. So, tell me a little about yourself. What do you do?
I work in a travel agency.
Really? What do you do there?
I'm in charge of their computers.
Oh, so you're a computer specialist?
Well, sort of. Yeah, I guess so.
That's great. Then maybe you can give me some help with the computer course I'm taking.
Oh, sure. But only if you promise to give me some more skating lessons.
It's a deal.
Listening. Life as an immigrant. Listen to interviews with 2 immigrants to the United States. Where are they from? Huy.
Where are you from originally, Huy?
I'm from Vietnam, from near Hanoi.
And when did you move here?
I came here after I graduated from college. That was in 1998.
And what do you do now?
I work for a communications company.
I see. So you're an immigrant to the United States.
That's right.
What are some of the difficulties of being an immigrant in the U.S.?
Oh, that's not an easy question to answer. There are so many things, really. I guess one of the biggest difficulties is that I don't have any relatives here. I mean, I have a lot of friends, but that's not the same thing. In Vietnam, we visit relatives on holidays and weekends. It's not the same here.
And what do you miss the most from home?
Oh, that's easy. My mom's cooking. There are some great Vietnamese restaurants here, but it's not the same as my mother's cooking.
Ahmed.
Where are you from, Ahmed?
I'm from Egypt.
And when did you move to the U.S.?
In 2005.
Are you studying here at the moment?
Not now. I moved here to attend college, and after I graduated, I got a job here. I'm working as an engineer.
Uh-huh. And what was it like when you first came here? Was it difficult?
Yeah, it was at times. The biggest difficulty I had was with the educational system. Things are very different here. Teaching methods, everything is very different from what I was used to in Egypt.
And what do you miss the most from Egypt?
My family and my friends. I try to go home often, but it's expensive to go back. I have some friends coming to visit next month, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Perspectives. How have you changed? Listen to these statements about changes. 1.
When I was a kid, I used to be very messy, but now I'm very neat.
2.
I didn't used to collect anything, but now I do.
3.
I never used to play sports, but now I like to keep fit.
4.
I never used to worry about money, but I do now.
5.
I used to have a lot of hobbies, but now I don't have any free time.
6.
I didn't used to follow politics, but now I check headlines online every day.
7.
When I was younger, I used to care a lot about my appearance. Now, I'm too busy to care how I look.
perspectives, transportation services. Listen to these comments about transportation services.
The buses are old and slow, and they cause too much pollution. In cities with less pollution, people are healthier.
There are too many cars. All the cars, taxis, and buses are a danger to bicyclists. There is too much traffic.
There should be fewer cars, but I think that the biggest problem is parking. There just isn't enough parking.
Listening. Singapore solves it. Listen to a resident of Singapore talk about how his city has tried to solve its traffic problems.
Singapore has done a lot to try to solve its traffic problems. For example, to drive into the downtown business district, motorists need to buy a special pass. They can go into the business district only if they have the pass on their windshield. Another thing Singapore has done is to make it more difficult to buy cars. People have to apply for a certificate before they can buy a car. Not everyone can get a certificate. There's a limited number of them. There's also a high tax on cars, so a new one costs a lot of money. A car can cost 3 or 4 times more in Singapore than in the US or Canada. The other thing Singapore has done is build an excellent public transportation system. Their subway system is one of the best in the world. And there's also a very good taxi and bus system.
Conversation. Could you tell me? Listen and practice.
Excuse me, could you tell me where the nearest ATM is?
There's one upstairs, across from the duty-free shop.
Great. And do you know where I can catch a bus to the city?
Sure. Just follow the signs for transportation.
Okay. And can you tell me how often they run?
They run every 20 minutes or so.
And just one more thing. Do you know where the restrooms are?
Right behind you. Do you see where that sign is?
Oh, thanks a lot.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. Check the information that Eric asks for.
Excuse me, it's me again. I'm sorry. I need some more information if you don't mind. Do you know how much the bus costs?
It's $20. You can buy a ticket on the bus.
$20? Wow.
Well, a taxi costs about $50.
Okay. And do you know where a bookstore is? I'd like to get a guidebook.
Go upstairs and turn right. You'll see one on your left.
Thanks very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Listening. Celebrity interview. Listen to an interview with Jerry, a fashion model.
Thanks for taking the time to speak with me, Jerry.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
You have a beautiful accent. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in England, in a city called Brighton.
How do you spell that?
Brighton.
Just like it sounds.
Yes.
What was that like?
Brilliant. It's a lovely city, right by the sea. My family still lives there. My father owns a restaurant and my mother teaches school.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I never thought I'd be a model. I wanted to be a doctor or maybe a writer.
Why not a model?
Well, I always thought I looked funny.
I can't imagine it. Were you popular when you were growing up?
Not really. I wasn't unpopular, but I wasn't in the popular crowd at school. I had a nice group of friends, though.
How did you like school?
Oh, I loved school. I was a great student. My mother actually taught at my primary school. I always thought that was terrific.
What about your free time as a child? Did you have a hobby?
I used to love to draw. Later I learned to paint, and I still do that. Actually, I have some paintings in a gallery right now.
That's impressive.
Well, it's a very small exhibit, but it's something I really enjoy.
Did you have a favorite game when you were growing up?
I used to play video games a lot as a kid. The video games then were very different from the games now. I didn't have a favourite, though. I liked a lot of them.
What about a favorite place?
My favourite place. I used to go to a summer camp in Ireland. I loved that. I got to go horseback riding almost every day.
Do you still go to Ireland?
No, not very often.
Perspectives. Which would you prefer? Listen to these opinions about houses and apartments. Which ones are about space? 1.
Apartments are too small for pets.
2.
Apartments aren't big enough for families.
3.
Apartments don't have as many rooms as houses.
4.
Apartments have just as many expenses as houses.
5.
Apartments don't have enough parking spaces.
6.
Houses cost too much money.
7.
Houses aren't as safe as apartments.
8.
Houses aren't as convenient as apartments.
9.
Houses don't have enough closet space.
10.
Houses don't have as much privacy as apartments.
Listening. Capsule hotels. Listen to Brad describe a capsule hotel.
Welcome to the program, Your Home is My Home. Our guest tonight is Brad Phillips from California. Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Well, at the moment, I'm working as an English teacher in Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo is an exciting city, but it's also very spread out. It can sometimes take hours to go from one part of the city to another. When I don't feel like going all the way home, I sometimes stay in a capsule hotel.
A capsule hotel? Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, it's a hotel with lots of small rooms. Actually, they're not really rooms. They're spaces that are 2 meters by 1 meter and only a meter high. In other words, they're very cramped. But the hotel is cheap and very convenient.
And what's inside each little room? Or should I say each space?
Well, inside every capsule, there's a bed, a TV.
A TV? Really?
Yeah, and a reading light, a radio, and an alarm clock. The hotel also has lockers where you can keep your personal belongings.
Interesting. So what kind of people stay in a capsule hotel?
Well, probably people like me. People who miss the last train home or don't want to go all the way home only to turn around and come back to work again. It gets pretty busy, as you can imagine.
Finally, would you recommend a capsule hotel to other people?
Sure. The rooms are small, but you get used to sleeping in a small space. I just wouldn't recommend a capsule hotel to people who can't relax in small, cramped spaces.
Conversation. Making changes. Listen and practice.
So, are you still living with your parents, Terry?
I'm afraid so. I wish I had my own apartment.
Why? Don't you like living at home?
It's okay, but my parents are always asking me to be home before midnight. I wish they'd stop worrying about me.
Yeah, parents are like that.
And they expect me to help around the house. I hate housework. I wish life weren't so difficult.
So, why don't you move out?
Hey, I wish I could. But where else can I get free room and board?
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What changes would Brian like to make in his life?
Yeah, it's sometimes pretty hard to pay the rent. I'm thinking of finding a new job.
Really? What kind of job would you like?
I'm not sure, but I wish I worked somewhere else. I'm tired of this place. I need to live somewhere more exciting.
I know what you mean. Hey, maybe we could move to a different city. We could even be roommates.
Yeah, maybe.
Conversation. Have you ever... Listen and practice.
Hey, this sounds strange. Snails with garlic. Have you ever eaten snails?
Yes, I have. I had them here just last week.
Did you like them?
Yes, I did. They were delicious. Why don't you try some?
No, I don't think so.
Have you decided on an appetizer yet?
Yes. I'll have a small order of the snails, please.
And you, sir?
I think I'll have the fried brains.
Fried brains? I've never heard of that. It sounds scary.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. How did Steve like the fried brains? What else did he order?
Oh, good. Here comes our server now.
Here are your snails. And for you, sir, the fried brains.
Thank you.
These snails are delicious. How are the brains?
Well, I think they're... Yuck. Oh, sorry. I guess brains are too strange for me. I think I'm going to order something else if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I really don't care for this appetizer. Could you bring me something else?
Yes, of course. What would you like instead?
Try the snails.
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you what. Just forget an appetizer for me and bring me a nice, juicy hamburger with French fries and a large soda.
Listening. I really need a change. Listen to 3 people talk about things they wish they could change. 1.
I get really bored on weekends. I wish I belonged to a club or a sports team. I'd get to meet new people and make new friends. And I'd get into better shape, too.
2.
I wish I could type better. I should take a typing course this summer. I really need it for my schoolwork. And people say that if you can type really well, it's something you'll find useful later in life.
3.
I've been so stressed out lately. I really need to get away. I wish I could take a short trip to a beach just for a few days. No computer, no cell phone, no TV even. I'd just take a good book and relax.
Conversation. What are you going to do? Listen and practice.
I'm so excited. We have 2 weeks off. What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. I guess I'll just stay home. Maybe I'll hang out with my friends and watch some movies. What about you? Any plans?
Yeah, I'm going to relax at the beach with my cousin. We're going to go surfing every day. And my cousin likes to fish, so maybe we'll go fishing one day.
Sounds like fun.
Say, why don't you come with us?
Do you mean it? I'd love to. I'll bring my surfboard.
That's great. The more the merrier.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. Where are they going to stay? How will they get there?
By the way, where are we going to stay?
Oh, we can stay at my aunt and uncle's beach house. They have plenty of room, and I'm sure they'll be happy to have guests. I'll call them tonight to let them know what time we're going to arrive. I guess we'll leave pretty early. There's a direct bus every morning at 5 a.m.
That's fine with me. I think I'll be too excited to sleep.
Perspectives. Travel advice. Listen to these pieces of advice from experienced travelers. What topic is each person talking about?
You should tell the driver where you're going before you get on. And you have to have exact change for the fare.
When you fly, you should keep important things in your carry-on bag, such as your medication and credit cards. You shouldn't pack them in your checked luggage.
You should try some of the local specialties, but you'd better avoid the stalls on the street.
In most countries, you don't have to have an international driver's license, but you must have a license from your own country. You also need to be 21 or over.
You ought to pack a first aid kit and any medication you need. You shouldn't drink water from the tap.
You ought to keep a copy of your credit card numbers at the hotel, and you shouldn't carry a lot of cash when you go out.
Listening. Tourist tips. Listen to an interview with a spokeswoman from the New York City Visitor Center.
What should people do to make their visit to New York City safe and pleasant?
Don't try to do too much in a short time. That's very important. You should start planning before you get here. You ought to decide in advance which sites you most want to see.
Are there any good tours available?
Oh, yes, there are many. Some companies offer bus tours that stop at all the major tourist attractions. You can buy a pass so you can get on and off wherever you like. That saves you time. And you should visit our website to find out about the latest tours and special events.
I see. And is New York a safe city for visitors?
It's safer than many cities in the world. But just like in any big city, you should still be careful. For example, don't go off on your own, especially at night. And never carry much cash on you. Oh, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Even American visitors have to ask for help when they come here. You'll find that New Yorkers are pretty friendly. They like welcoming visitors to their city and are happy to give directions.
One last thing. Is it an expensive city to visit?
It can be, but there are a lot of places in the city where you don't have to spend a lot of money. If you're a student, you should bring your student ID card with you. That way, you can get a discount at museums and galleries.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, just that most people have a great time when they come to New York, and I'm sure you will too.
Conversation. Turn down the TV. Listen and practice.
Jason, turn down the TV, please.
Oh, but this is my favorite program.
I know, but it's very loud.
Okay, I'll turn it down.
That's better. Thanks.
Lisa, please pick up your things. They're all over the floor.
In a minute, Mom. I'm on the phone.
All right, but do it as soon as you hang up.
Okay, no problem.
Were we like this when we were kids?
Definitely.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What complaints do Jason and Lisa have about their parents?
Have you noticed how forgetful Dad is getting? He's always forgetting where his car keys are. It drives me crazy.
And he can never find his glasses either.
I know.
You know what drives me crazy about Mom?
What?
The awful clothes she wears. Her style is so old-fashioned. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, she could use some fashion advice. She should go shopping with you.
Oh well, I guess they're just getting old. I hope I never get like that.
Me too. Hey, come on. Let's go play that new game online.
Great idea. By the way, have you seen my glasses anywhere?
Listening. Family life. Listen to the results of a survey about family life. Page 38, Exercise 6, Part B. Listen again. According to the survey, what specific chores do men, women, boys, and girls usually do?
Welcome to this week's program, Do Men Have It Easy?, where we'll take a look at the roles and responsibilities of men and women in families. First, thanks to all of you who responded to our survey. John?
Thanks, Jennifer. Later on in the program, we'll be taking your phone calls and talking to Dr. Walters, a family psychologist, who will answer your questions. And now for the results of the survey. Jennifer?
Well, in response to the first question, who is the messiest person in the house? The answer was boys. 92% of you said that your sons or brothers don't help much around the house. They don't pick up their things, don't hang up their clothes, and leave their clothes lying around.
Interesting. And what about the second question, Jennifer? That was, who does most of the work in the kitchen?
Well, 84% of you answered women. Many of you also explained that the boys and men usually take out the garbage. The girls and women tend to cook, do the dishes, and clean up.
And what about the groceries, Jennifer?
Well, according to our results, boys and girls usually put the groceries away.
That's surprising. So what else do the women do?
Well, that's our next question. Who worries most about expenses? In the majority of homes, it seems that women worry most about household expenses. One young man wrote to us saying, "My mother always nags me and my sister. She tells us to get off the phone, to stop spending so long on the computer, to turn off the TV. Well, everything really. I always thought she just liked to nag, but maybe she's really worried about money." I think that's probably true. Don't you, John?
Yes, very interesting. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Walters.
Perspectives. Reasonable requests? Are all the requests reasonable? 1.
Could you please tell me the next time you have a party? I'd like to make sure I'm not at home.
2.
Can you turn the music down, please? The walls are really thin, so the sound goes through to my apartment.
3.
Would you mind closing the door behind you and making sure it locks? We don't want strangers to enter the building.
4.
Would you please tell your guests to use the visitor parking spaces? A lot of cars have been using my space recently.
5.
Would you mind not putting your garbage in the hallway? It's not very pleasant to see when I walk by.
Listening. Summer plans. Listen to Judy, Paul, and Brenda describe their summer plans. What is each person going to do? 1. Judy.
So, what are you planning to do on your vacation, Judy?
Oh, I'm going to do something different this year. I went to Hawaii last year and just relaxed on the beach for 2 weeks. This year, I'm going whitewater rafting.
Ooh, that sounds fun. But what is that exactly?
Oh, well, they have these trips down the rapids. The water gets really rough, but I think it'll be really exciting. Oh, I'm doing some mountain climbing, too.
And you call that a vacation?
2. Paul.
What are your plans for the summer, Paul?
Oh, I'd love to go and lie on a beach somewhere, but I need to save some money for school. I think I'll stay home and get a job.
That doesn't sound like much fun.
Oh, it won't be so bad. Some of my friends are going to work this summer too, so we'll have a good time on the weekends.
3. Brenda.
Have you planned anything for the summer, Brenda?
Yeah, I'm going to work the first month and save some money. Then I'm going to Mexico to visit my sister. She's working in Guadalajara. She says it's really interesting there, so I want to see what it's like. I'm really looking forward to it.
listening, offline, and proud of it. Listen to a radio program about the Internet.
We've all heard stories about how Internet use is growing. Today, however, we're talking with someone who has studied people who don't use the Internet. Let's welcome Dr. Tom Van Cleve to the program.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Thanks for coming. Now, I understand that many people still don't use the Internet. Is that right? What can you tell us?
That's right. My research has revealed that in the United States, for example, about 22% of the population never uses the Internet.
And why is that?
Well, they tend to be older people or people living in more rural areas. But there are also those who worry about privacy or who think that the Internet isn't necessary in their lives. Some of these people are even proud to be independent from the online world.
Interesting. In your new book, you mention net evaders. Can you explain what you mean by this?
Well, lots of people live with someone who browses websites, but they still don't log on themselves. I call this group net evaders. I found that these people may ask a family member to send emails for them, for example, but they don't want to do it themselves.
I know someone like that.
Yes, and then there's another group of people I call Internet dropouts.
Internet dropouts? What exactly does that mean?
It refers to people who once used the Internet but have stopped using it for some reason. They may not have a computer anymore, may not have enough time, or simply may not be interested.
I see. Well, thanks very much for sharing that information with us, Dr. Van Cleve.
Conversation. I give up. Listen and practice.
I give up. I can't figure this out.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to create a song playlist for my party on Saturday.
I can help. It's really easy. First, choose New Playlist from the menu.
Here? Oh, I see.
Now type in the name of your playlist. Then go to your song file and choose the ones you want.
But how do I choose the songs?
Just drag them to the playlist. Be sure to press these keys to highlight more than one song.
That was easy. Thanks. So are you coming on Saturday?
Of course, but don't forget to include my favorite songs on your playlist, okay?
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What else does Terry want help with?
Say, before you go, can you help me with something else?
Sure, but I only have a minute.
Okay, quickly. I'd like to edit a video I took. It's too long, and I want to post it online for my friends to see.
Well, I know you need to open your editing program first.
Okay.
And then... Sorry, I'm not sure. Try to get the answers from the help box. That's what I always do.
Perspectives. Special days. Listen to these comments about special days of the year.
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. It's a day when North Americans celebrate the harvest. My whole family gets together at our house. I always cook a large turkey.
February 14th is the day when people give cards and presents to the ones they love. I'm really looking forward to Valentine's Day. I already have a gift for my boyfriend.
New Year's Eve is a night when I have fun with my friends. We usually have a big party. We stay up all night and then go out for breakfast in the morning.
Listening. Carnival time. Mike has just returned from Brazil. Listen to him talk about Carnival. What was his favorite thing about it?
Isn't this music fantastic? It's from a samba CD that I got when I was in Brazil for Carnaval. Carnaval is a big party or celebration and usually lasts for 4 days. It's in late February or early March, but you need to book a hotel room early because hotels fill up really quickly. People celebrate Carnaval all over Brazil, but the most famous party is in Rio de Janeiro. There are colorful decorations all over the city. It's really beautiful, and everyone is very friendly, especially to visitors from other countries. My favorite thing about Carnaval is the big parade. The costumes are amazing. People work on them for months. It's really fantastic to watch. Everyone dances the samba in the streets. I'd really recommend you try to go to Rio for Carnaval.
Conversation. Wedding day. Listen and practice.
Your wedding pictures are really beautiful, Emiko.
Thank you. Those pictures are from right after the ceremony.
Where was the ceremony?
At a shrine. When people get married in Japan, they sometimes have the ceremony at a shrine.
That's interesting. Were there a lot of people there?
Well, usually only family members and close friends go to the ceremony. But afterward, we had a reception with family and friends.
So, what are receptions like in Japan?
There's a big dinner, and after the meal, the guests give speeches or sing songs.
It sounds like fun.
It really is. And then, before the guests leave, the bride and groom give them presents.
The guests get presents?
Yes, and the guests give money to the bride and groom.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What did the bride and groom give each guest?
I'm curious. What did you and your husband give everyone?
Well, sugar is a symbol of happiness in Japan, so we gave each guest a box filled with sweets.
What a nice custom. It sounds like it was a wonderful day.
Oh, it really was.
Listening. Marriage customs. Listen to some information about marriage customs. 1.
You know, this book about marriage customs is really interesting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Listen to this. It talks about this native tribe in Paraguay.
Uh-huh.
When two women in the tribe want to marry the same man, guess what they do?
I have no idea. What?
They have a boxing match and fight until one of them wins.
And the prize is the husband?
Of course.
2.
Does the book say anything about Malaysia?
I don't know. Why?
Well, when people get married in Malaysia, they have to eat rice during the ceremony.
Yeah? What's so strange about that?
It's uncooked rice.
3.
Oh, here's another one. Don't laugh, but I think this is really romantic.
You think something is romantic? What is it?
In Italy, a friend or family member often brings a pair of white doves to the wedding. After the ceremony, the cage is opened and the doves fly into the air. The birds symbolize the couple's love and happiness.
You're right. That is romantic.
4.
And here's an interesting custom from India.
Let's hear it.
There's a special Hindu water pouring ceremony during the wedding.
And what happens?
Well, when the Indian bride and groom are married, someone pours water all over both of them.
Why do they do that?
It says here that it brings the couple closer together.
Interesting.
Conversation. That's progress. Listen and practice.
This neighborhood sure has changed.
I know. A few years ago, not many people lived here, but the population is growing so fast these days.
Remember how we used to rent videotapes at that little video store?
Yeah, now it's a multiplex cinema.
And I hear they're tearing down our high school. They're going to build a shopping mall. Soon there will be just malls and parking lots.
That's because everyone has a car. 50 years ago, people walked everywhere. Nowadays, they drive.
That's progress, I guess.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What else has changed in their neighborhood?
Well, what about that old bookstore? Do you know if it's still there?
No, it's not. Now it's a hair salon.
Really? What about the Thai restaurant next to it? I loved that place.
Oh, that's still there.
Let's go there this weekend. I'll drive. I can pick you up.
Great.
Listening. For better or for worse. Listen to people discuss changes. 1.
How long have you been living here?
Oh, for over 20 years.
And have you noticed a lot of changes during that time?
Oh, yes, quite a few. This is a much nicer place to live now than it used to be. It's much greener. When I first moved here, there weren't many trees around. But over the last few years, the city has planted trees everywhere. It's made such a difference.
2.
How do you like living here?
Well, it's an interesting city, but you really need a car here. You can't go anywhere without one. There used to be a good bus system, but there isn't anymore.
Why is that?
Oh, I think they expect everyone to have a car, so they don't bother to provide decent bus service. It's getting worse and worse. These days, you have to wait a long time for a bus, and when one finally shows up, it's usually full.
3.
I can't believe how much this neighborhood has changed.
What do you mean?
Well, when Joe and I first bought this house, that was almost 20 years ago, of course, there were lots of young couples with children living on this street.
I don't see any kids out today.
That's because they've all grown up and moved out of their parents' houses. The only young children we see around here these days are the grandchildren when they come to visit. It's too bad. I miss the sounds of kids playing. It's gotten way too quiet around here.
Conversation. I need a job. Listen and practice.
I'm so broke. I really need to find a job.
So do I. Do you see anything good listed?
How about this telephone sales job? You call people and try to sell them magazines?
That sounds boring. And anyway, I'm not very good at selling.
Well, I am. I might check that one out. Oh, here's one for you. An assistant entertainment director on a cruise ship.
That sounds like fun. I love traveling, and I've never been on a cruise ship.
It says here you have to work every day while the ship is at sea.
That's okay. I don't mind working long hours if the pay is good. I think I'll apply for it.
Listen to Brad's phone call. What else does the job require?
Hello?
Hello. This is the employment office of Holiday Cruise Lines. May I speak with Brad?
Hello. This is Brad.
Ah, good. Brad, we got your application for assistant entertainment director. Your skills look good, but I have a question. Do you speak any other languages?
No, not really.
Oh, that's too bad. We're really looking for someone who can speak at least one other language. I'm sorry, but we'll keep your application and call you if another job comes up.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for calling me, and I hope to hear from you again.
Listening. Job hunting. Listen to people talk about the kind of work they are looking for. Check the job that would be best for each person. 1. Bill.
So, what kind of job are you looking for?
Well, I haven't made up my mind. I love working with people, and I love traveling. I don't want a job where I'm stuck in an office all day. I want to get out and see the world.
Are you interested in working in business? That's where you can sometimes make good money.
I'm not really interested in making a lot of money at this point in my life. I'll worry about that later.
2. Shannon.
What kind of career are you planning for yourself?
I don't know. I think I'd like to have a job where I can help people. Everybody else in my family is in law or business. You know, boring stuff like that. That's just not for me. I know I'd like to work overseas, though. Maybe in a children's hospital in a developing country. But that's a long way away. I have to get into medical school first, and that's not going to be easy.
3. Ben.
What kind of job do I have in mind? Well, I don't want a regular 9-to-5 job. Eventually, I'd like to get into acting, maybe even break into movies. But I guess that won't happen for a while.
So what are you doing in the meantime?
Well, I work out at the gym nearly every day. I need to be really fit. And I'm taking acting lessons as well so that I feel comfortable in front of the crowd. I just had some pictures taken to show to agents in the city. Would you like to see them?
Sure.
Perspectives. Job profiles. Listen to these people answer the question, what kind of work would you like to do? What job does each person talk about?
Well, I think I'd make a good journalist because I'm good at writing. When I was in college, I worked as a reporter for the school website. I really enjoyed writing different kinds of articles.
I know what I don't want to do. A lot of my friends work in the stock market, but I could never be a stockbroker because I can't make decisions quickly. I don't mind working hard, but I'm terrible under pressure.
I'm still in school. My parents want me to be a teacher, but I'm not sure yet. I guess I could be a teacher because I'm very creative. I'm also very impatient, so maybe I shouldn't work with kids.
Listening. Good or bad? Listen to Louisa and Tim discuss 4 jobs. Write down the jobs and check if they would be good or bad at them. 1. Louisa.
I don't know what classes to take this semester. I can't decide what I want to do with my life. Have you thought about it, Louisa?
A little bit. My history professor says I should think about a career in politics. But I don't think I'd make a good politician.
Why not?
Oh, you know me. I'm not good at working with other people. I'm too moody, and politicians have to work with people all the time.
That's true. So what do you think you want to do?
Well, honestly, I think I'd make a good architect.
Oh, you would. You're so creative.
And I love drawing and, I don't know, making things. Plus, then I'd get to work alone a lot.
2. Tim.
That reminds me of a problem I'm having.
What is it?
You know my parents have a restaurant, right? Well, my father wants me to be the manager.
And you don't want to?
No way. Restaurant managers have to manage other people. I'd be terrible. I'm too disorganized.
So what do you want to do?
Well, I think I could be a good teacher. I like working with kids and I'm pretty patient.
That's true. And you're very hardworking.
Perspectives. The Empire State Building. Now listen. What information is the most surprising?
Okay, folks, here we are in the Empire State Building. The history of the Empire State Building is filled with many interesting facts and figures. It was designed by American architect William Lamb to become the tallest building in the world. Construction began in March 1930, and by October of that same year, 88 floors were already finished. In 1931, after 14 months and $25 million, the building's 102 floors were officially opened by U.S. President Herbert Hoover. In 1964, colored lights were added to the top by the building's owners. The colors change almost every night. While it's no longer the world's tallest building, it is still seen as a symbol of New York City, and people from all over the world visit the building every year. It has even been featured in some of Hollywood's biggest films, including King Kong and Sleepless in Seattle.
Listening. Who built them? Listen to 3 tour guides describe some very old monuments. Take notes to answer the questions below. 1. The pyramids. Who built them? Why were they built?
The pyramids were built more than 4,000 years ago by the Egyptians. The most famous ones are on the west bank of the river Nile, outside of Cairo. They were built as burial places for the Egyptian kings. After a king's death, his body was turned into what is called a mummy. This preserved it. The king's mummy was placed inside the pyramid along with treasures.
2. Machu Picchu. How big is the city? When was it discovered?
Machu Picchu is an Inca city in Peru. Construction of the city started in 1450. The ruins are about 2,400 meters above sea level. The city covers about 13 square kilometers. For centuries, the city was buried in the jungle and wasn't discovered again until 1911. Today, Machu Picchu is one of the most famous tourist attractions in all of South America.
3. The Great Wall of China. Why was it built? How long is it?
The Great Wall of China is the longest structure ever built. It was built to protect one of the Chinese kingdoms. Much of what exists of the wall today was built during the Ming Dynasty in the late 1400s, although some parts of the wall are much older. The wall is about 11 meters high, and a stone roadway runs along the top of it. The main part of the wall stretches for about 3,400 kilometers.
Conversation. I need some information. Listen and practice.
Hello?
Oh, hello. I need some information. What currency is used in the European Union?
Where?
The European Union?
I think the euro is used in most of Europe.
Oh, right. And is English spoken much there?
I really have no idea.
Huh. Well, what about credit cards? Are they accepted everywhere?
How would I know?
Well, you're a travel agent, aren't you?
What? This is a hair salon. You have the wrong number.
Listening. Colombia. Listen to a short talk about Colombia.
Colombia is located in the northwestern part of South America and is the 4th largest country in South America. It has coastlines on both the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. It has a population of around 45 million and is a very beautiful country with snow-capped mountains as well as hot lowland plains. The capital city is Bogotá. Spanish is spoken by nearly all Colombians, and it is the country's official language. Many religions are practiced, but the religion of the majority of the population is Roman Catholic. Some of the most important industries are textiles and clothing. Other industries include mining and oil. Agriculture is the most important section of the economy, and Colombia's main agricultural products are coffee, flowers, sugar, bananas, rice, corn, and cotton. The coffee that is grown and exported is delicious. In fact, Colombia produces more coffee than any other country except Brazil and Vietnam.
Perspectives. It happened to me. Listen to what happened to these people. Check the things that have happened to you.
I was watching a really good movie, but I fell asleep before the end.
I was talking to my friend when my cell phone died.
I was traveling in another country when I met an old school friend.
I was getting off a bus when I slipped and fell on the sidewalk.
While I was shopping one day, a celebrity walked into the store.
I was typing my book report on my computer when it crashed.
While I was walking down the street, I found some money.
Listening. Lucky breaks. Listen to these stories about lucky breaks. What were the people doing before they got their lucky breaks? What were their lucky breaks? 1. Young Zifah.
About 40 years ago, young Zifah was just an ordinary Chinese farmer. He was living off the land and was very poor. Today, he is recognized as the man who discovered a highly important archaeological site, sometimes called the eighth wonder of the world. What happened? One morning in March 1974, Zifah and some other local farmers were looking for water. As they were drilling a well, they hit something hard. They found pieces of pottery and ancient weapons. Immediately, the head of the village reported the news to the local government, and in May 1976, the digging began. To everyone's surprise, there were over 8,000 soldiers made of terracotta lying underneath his land. The soldiers were over 2,000 years old and had been buried along with Emperor Qin, who wanted to take an army with him to his next life. Today, young Zifah spends much of his time at the Terracotta Army Museum. He sits, poses for pictures, and proudly signs autographs for the millions of tourists who visit from all over the world.
2. Gwyneth Paltrow.
You could say that actress Gwyneth Paltrow was born lucky. After all, she is the daughter of two well-known talents. Her mother is an actress, and her father was a writer, producer, and director. But like all people wanting to break into movies, she had to go to drama school and learn how to act. Today, Gwyneth Paltrow is a successful international actress and has even won an Oscar award. So how did it all begin? According to Ms. Paltrow, her lucky break came when she was 18 years old. She was at a movie theater with her parents. While they were waiting in line to buy some popcorn, she noticed that Steven Spielberg was also in line. She was just about to order when he came over to her and said, "Hey, can I ask you a favor? Would you play Wendy in the movie Hook?" "Sure," she said, and so she got her first movie role.
Conversation. What have you been doing? Listen and practice.
Hey, Gina. I haven't seen you in ages. What have you been doing lately?
Nothing exciting. I've been working 2 jobs for the last 6 months.
How come?
I'm saving up money for a trip to Morocco.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. What about you?
Well, I've only been spending money. I'm pursuing a full-time modeling career.
Really? How long have you been modeling?
Since I graduated. But I haven't been getting any work lately. I need a job soon. I'm almost out of money.
Listen to 2 other people at the party. What has happened since they last saw each other?
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Pretty good, thanks.
I haven't seen you for a while. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been looking for a house to buy. I finally found one last month.
That's terrific.
Yeah, I'm really tired of renting. So, what have you been doing lately?
Well, I went to Italy last month.
Really? What were you doing there?
I was taking a short Italian course. But guess what? I fell in love.
You did? Who's the lucky guy?
Actually, I fell in love with the food there. So I've been taking some classes in Italian cooking. That pizza you're eating, I made it.
Listening. Facts about Spain. Listen to people on a game show answer questions about Spain. What are the answers?
Welcome to today's show. The rules of the game are simple. I will ask a question, and the first contestant to hit the buzzer gets to answer that question. Each correct answer is worth $100. Today's topic is Spain. Are you ready, contestants? The first question for $100 is, what currency is used in Spain? Contestant A.
The euro.
That's right, contestant A. Spain used to use the peseta, but now they use the euro. And now for the next question. What country borders Spain to the west? Contestant A.
Portugal?
Correct. You're doing very well, contestant A. Maybe our other contestants can catch up on our next question. What is the capital of Spain? Contestant B.
The capital is Madrid.
You're right, contestant B. The capital is Madrid. Excellent. Let's see how you do with our next question. What is one of the most popular sports in Spain? Yes, contestant C.
Hockey?
No, I'm sorry. Anyone else know the answer? Contestant A.
Soccer is very popular in Spain.
That's right. Okay, there are only 2 questions left. Let's go, players. Next question. Spain is an agricultural country. What are 2 of the main crops? Contestant C.
Olives and, wheat?
Good for you. Olives and wheat are both grown in Spain. We only have 1 more question left, contestants. And remember, the winner of this round will be back here tomorrow for the championship playoff. And now for our last question. What are 2 of the main industries in Spain? Contestant B.
I think textiles and automobiles are made in Spain.
Yes, that's correct. Spain manufactures both textiles and automobiles. So, contestants, let's look at your scores. Contestant A, you answered...
Conversation. What's playing? Listen and practice.
Do you want to see a movie tonight?
Maybe. What's playing?
How about the new Star Trek film? I hear it's really exciting.
Actually, the last one was boring.
What about the movie based on Stephen King's new novel?
I don't know. His books are usually fascinating, but I don't like horror movies.
Well, what do you want to see?
I'm interested in the new Sandra Bullock movie. It looks good.
That's fine with me. She's a wonderful actress.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What happens next? What do they decide to do?
Yeah, her last movie was amazing. It's probably one of my all-time favorite movies.
Actually, I didn't see it, but I heard it was just okay.
Well, I'll check the theater's website and see what time the movie starts. Maybe we can go to a show after dinner. Oh, no.
What's wrong?
You won't believe this. It's not showing anymore. It was showing just last weekend, but I guess the schedule has already changed. We're back where we started.
Why don't we just see what's on TV tonight?
That's fine with me.
Listening. How did you like it? Listen to people talk about books, movies, and TV programs. Which ones do you think they would recommend? 1.
What do you think of Sue Grafton's books?
I love those mysteries. When I started to read A is for Alibi, I couldn't put it down. I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning to finish it.
Wow. Have you read any of the other books in the series?
Oh, yeah. B is for burglar. C is for corpse. I'm already up to K is for killer. Using the alphabet to build a mystery series is such a clever idea. I can't wait to read all 26 books. I wonder what Z will be.
2.
How did you like the movie?
Well, I walked out after half an hour.
You did?
Yeah, it was so dull that I started falling asleep. And I've never seen such bad acting. I think I'm going to start reading movie reviews online so I don't waste my money.
3.
Did you see that documentary on TV last night? The one about Australia?
I did. I learned so much. I didn't know they had so many different kinds of animals there. And the photography.
Yeah, it was something, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. It was pretty amazing. It made me really want to go there and see it for myself.
4.
Are you reading that book too? It seems everyone's reading it now. When did UFOs become so popular anyway?
Actually, I just finished it. What a waste of time. Just the same silly stuff about visitors to Earth from other planets.
I know. It said absolutely nothing new.
You know, I'm sick of hearing stories about little green creatures. If they're real, how come no one can ever take a picture of them?
Perspectives. It's about... Listen to people talk about some of their Hollywood favorites. Can you guess the actress, actor, or movie each person is describing? 1.
He's an actor who often plays unusual characters. He's fantastic as the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland and Captain Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
2.
This action movie came out in 2010 and stars Leonardo DiCaprio as a thief who is able to steal information from people's minds. It's kind of confusing, but the special effects are amazing.
3.
It's a science fiction movie that was directed by James Cameron. It's a beautiful film that takes place on the moon Pandora in the year 2154. It's a story about the clash of cultures and civilizations.
4.
She's an actress who is excellent in both dramas and comedies. I loved her in Mamma Mia and The Iron Lady. I haven't seen a lot of her earlier movies, though.
Listening. A night at the movies. Listen to 2 critics talk about a new movie. What do they like or not like about it?
Welcome to A Night at the Movies. I'm Pauline Kaplan.
And I'm Colin Hale. Good evening.
Tonight, we're going to review the new James Bond film. Well, I really like this new James Bond actor very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best actor that's ever had the role. Warm, human, even funny. A totally believable character.
I have to agree. A perfect 007 type. Pauline, what did you think of the story?
It was a standard story for a Bond movie. The usual beautiful women, the usual evil villain, nothing new.
Well, I'm surprised. I have to say that I thought the story was unusually good. The race car scenes were exciting, and the surprise ending was great.
Well, I can't agree with you there.
Really? What did you think about the music?
I wasn't impressed at all by the music. I love the James Bond theme, but what they did with it was awful. Too modern for me.
I can't believe you. I haven't heard such interesting music in a movie in a long time. It really added to the action scenes.
Now that brings up another weakness in the film, the special effects. Again, it's just the same old stuff. The car that flies, the pen that's really a gun. You get tired of that kind of thing.
I'd hardly believe you and I saw the same movie, Pauline. I have to say that the special effects were the best ever in a Bond film. For example, the scene where...
Excuse me, Colin. We're going to have to break for a commercial.
You're right, Pauline. We'll be right back with our ratings.
Conversation. Have you met Raj? Listen and practice.
Have you met Raj, the student from India?
No, I haven't.
Well, he seems really nice, but there's one thing I noticed. He moves his head from side to side when you talk to him. You know, like this.
Maybe it means he doesn't understand you.
No, I don't think so.
Or it could mean he doesn't agree with you.
Actually, people from India sometimes move their heads from side to side when they agree with you.
Oh, so that's what it means.
Now listen to Raj talk to his friend. What does he find unusual about the way people in North America communicate?
So how are things at school, Raj?
Oh, pretty good, actually.
Do you find it easy to communicate with people?
Most of the time. Though there are some things I find a bit unusual. For example, the way that people end a conversation. You know, they'll say things like, "Hey, let's get together soon." At first, I thought that they were inviting me to do something. But then I realized it's just a way of saying goodbye. It's not really an invitation at all. It takes a bit of getting used to.
Listening. Sign language. Listen to 3 conversations about driving. 1.
Oh no, not another parking ticket. That's the second one this week. Why did I get a ticket for parking here? I thought this was a free parking zone.
Maybe you can only park here after working hours. Is there a sign around anywhere?
Oh, you're right. There's one over there. I didn't even notice it. Looks like you can't park here till after 6 p.m.
How much is the fine?
Would you believe it? $60.
2.
I wonder why that traffic officer is signaling me.
Perhaps he means you're driving too fast.
No, I don't think so. The speed limit is 60, and I'm only going 55.
I wonder why there are no other cars in this lane.
What do you mean?
Well, you see how the other cars are all in the lane next to us?
You're right. I think this one is just for buses and taxis. They really should put up better signs around here.
3.
That's weird. The last few cars driving toward us were flashing their lights.
I see what you mean. There's another one.
Maybe my lights are on or something. Let me check. No, they're off.
Do you think there's an accident up ahead? Maybe you'd better slow down.
Oh, now I see what's happening. There's a patrol car up ahead checking people's speed. How nice of those other drivers to let me know. Well, I'm within the speed limit. At least I am now.
Listening. That's how I feel. Listen to some people talking. Write what each person is talking about. 1.
That road sign looks kind of strange to me. I wonder what it means. Perhaps it means the road gets slippery when it's wet. Or it might mean that the road is very curvy.
2.
That's the last time I'll watch one of his movies. It started out okay, but the ending was terrible. The last scene could mean they stay together, but it may also mean they never see each other again. I can't stand when directors leave the ending so open.
3.
Wow, that lecture really made me think. Everything the professor said makes sense. I could never understand Greek philosophy before, but he made it all so clear. Maybe this means I should change my major to philosophy.
4.
I can't believe how many rules they have at this pool. They look through all your bags to make sure you don't have any food or glass containers. I guess that probably means a lot of people try to bring those things in. All I wanted was to go for a swim.
Conversation. If I found $750,000. Listen and practice.
Look at this. Some guy found $750,000. He returned it, and the owner simply thanked him with a phone call.
You're kidding. If I found $750,000, I wouldn't return it so fast.
Why? What would you do?
Well, I'd go out and start spending it. I could buy lots of nice clothes and jewelry.
Someone might also find out about it, and then you could go to jail.
You've got a point there.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What would Phil do if he found $750,000?
So what would you do if you found $750,000?
Oh, you know me, Pat. I'm so honest, I scare myself sometimes. I'd take the money straight to the police.
I guess that wouldn't be such a bad idea. Maybe you'd be luckier than the guy in the article. Maybe the owner of the money would give you a big reward.
Well, they say honesty pays, right?
Listening. Tough predicaments. Listen to 3 people talk about predicaments. 1.
I just got a postcard from my friend Carrie. She lost all her money on vacation in Europe. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Jane, what would you do if you were on vacation overseas and you lost all your money in credit cards?
I guess I'd call my parents and ask them to send me some money right away. What about you, Bert?
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. Although, maybe I'd try going to the embassy or consulate to see if they could help me. What about you, Susan?
Well, I guess I'd probably sell my watch and camera. Or I might get a job as a waitress somewhere till I made enough money to buy a plane ticket home.
2.
You know, I'm really worried about Carol.
Why?
Well, I think she has a serious shopping problem.
Really?
Yes, she keeps buying things and putting everything on her credit card. I don't think she realizes how hard it's going to be to pay all the money back. I don't know what to do. What would you do if you discovered a friend had major financial problems?
Oh, no question. I'd talk to her about it.
Oh, I don't think I would.
Why not?
Well, because it's really none of my business. I wouldn't tell a friend what to do in that type of situation, so I wouldn't say or do anything about it.
Well, I think I'd probably talk to her family about it. It's a personal problem and they should try to help her first.
3.
You know, I was faced with a tough situation the other day. I was walking down the street and saw 2 people fighting. It looked pretty violent, but I didn't know what to do, so I just walked away. I figured it was none of my business, but now I think I should have done something. What would you do if you saw 2 people fighting on the street?
I'm not really sure, but I know I'd have to do something. I guess I would call the police.
No, that takes too long. I'd try to break it up.
But you could get hurt if you did that.
Well, then I'd try to get someone to help me break it up. In the meantime, I'd shout for someone to call the police.
Listening. I'm calling about. Listen to people calling Dr. Hilda, a counselor on a radio talk show.
This is Dr. Hilda. Welcome to today's show. Now let's get started right away with our first caller. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Hilda. I'm calling about my daughter. She's dating an older man.
Oh? How old are these 2 people?
My daughter's 24, and this man is 42.
Mm-hmm.
I told her she had to stop seeing him, and now she won't speak to me. I feel terrible. Tell me, Dr. Hilda, what should I have done?
First, you should have spoken to this 42-year-old man. You should have asked him not to date your daughter for a couple of weeks, to give the situation some time to cool off. Then, if they still want to see each other, and if the man seems like a nice person, you should let your daughter date him. You shouldn't worry so much about the age difference. Okay, now let's go to our next caller. Hello, caller.
Hello? I'm a first-time caller, and, well, my problem is that my father went away on a business trip, and I borrowed his brand new car, and I had an accident.
Where is your mother?
She's away, visiting some friends.
All right, go on.
Well, I sent an email to my father, and I told him, well, I told him someone had stolen the car.
Oh, you should have told your father the truth. Your father would probably understand about a car accident, and he would be glad you weren't hurt.
I'm not too sure about that.
Oh, give it a try, young man, because the truth is always better than a lie. Okay, now let's hear from our next caller. This is Dr. Hilda. You're on the air.
Hi. I'm calling about a problem. It's kind of a personal problem, but it also concerns work.
Yes, go on.
Well, I invited some friends from the office to my house for a party a couple of weeks ago, and everything was fine until someone started talking about politics.
Oh, you shouldn't have let the subject of politics come up.
Well, it came up, and I got really angry at one of my coworkers, and to prevent a fight, I asked him to leave.
And what happened after that?
Well, now it's caused a big problem in the office. He won't even speak to me.
Again, you shouldn't have talked about politics at a party. It's not a safe topic.
That's for sure.
And you shouldn't have gotten so angry either.
That's true, but what should I do now?
You should apologize.
Well, maybe that's a good idea. I'll give it a try.
Good. Well, folks, that's another show. I'm Dr. Hilda. Join us again next time.
Conversation. Are you doing anything on Saturday? Listen and practice.
Hi, Daniel.
Oh, hi, Albert. How are things?
Just fine, thanks. Are you doing anything on Saturday night?
Saturday night? Let me think. Oh, yes. My cousin just called to say he was flying in that night. I told him I would pick him up.
Oh, that's too bad. It's my birthday. I'm having dinner with Amanda, and I thought I'd invite more people and make it a party.
Gee, I'm really sorry, but I won't be able to make it.
I'm sorry, too, but that's okay.
Listening. He said, she said. Listen to Albert inviting friends to his party on Saturday. What excuses do people give for not coming? 1. Scott.
Hello?
Hi, Scott. This is Albert. How are things?
Oh, hi, Albert.
It's my birthday on Saturday, and I thought maybe you'd like to come to my party.
Oh, I really wish I could, but I won't be around this weekend. I'm leaving Friday night, and I won't get back till Sunday afternoon.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Albert. Have a great party, though, and happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. And you have a great weekend, Scott.
Oh, thanks.
Well, bye.
See you around.
2. Fumiko.
Hello?
Fumiko? Hi, it's Albert. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, too. Saturday is my birthday, and I was wondering if you'd like to come to my party.
Oh, what time?
Say around 7:30?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I may already have plans to go to the movies with my friends.
Oh, okay, Fumiko. I hope you have a good time.
Thank you, and I hope your party is fun.
Yeah, well, I hope so too. See you in class on Monday?
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
3. Manuel.
Hello?
Hello, Manuel.
Hi, Albert. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
What's up?
Well, my birthday is Saturday and I'm having a little party with some friends. And I thought maybe you'd like to come.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I already promised my mother I'd take her to the new dance club downtown. She loves to dance, and she's really looking forward to it.
Oh, I didn't know your mom liked to dance, Manuel.
Oh, yeah, she loves it. And, well, Mom...
It's okay, Manuel. Don't worry about it.
I'm really sorry. Okay, well...
See you soon.
Take care, Albert.
Okay, bye, Manuel.
Bye.
4. Regina.
Hello?
Hello? Regina? This is Albert.
Oh, hi, Albert.
What's wrong?
I've got the flu.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I guess you won't be coming to my party on Saturday, huh?
No, I guess not. I'm feeling pretty run down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, hey, take care of yourself, Regina. I hope to see you next week.
Yeah, me too. Bye.
Listen. What happens on the night of Albert's birthday?
Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me.
Surprise!
Oh, wow! Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Scott, Fumiko. Wow, what a terrific surprise. Manuel, Regina, man, you really fooled me. I can't believe it. Amanda, did you set this up? Wow, you're the best.